Hi, it's Randi Rhodes. Hope you enjoy this free clip from Political Voices Network.
This is how you're going to tell that independent suburban woman voter to vote for you?
We're off to winning an election, and I think we're winning very well. I got a poll just recently. I have it here.
I know. And I watched the numbers.
I've shown you every poll. I showed you we were leading by tremendous numbers, and we're leading with women.
He's like a child.
He's insane. And you know what's crazy is the things he's saying, he should be saying them shoeless on a street corner with a tinfoil hat on his head.
Exactly.
Instead, he's on the ballot.
That's what I'm saying. He's not even trying to appear like he's lucid. He's not even trying to appear sane anymore. It's like all bets are off. There's nobody, monitoring him. There's nobody, taking care to keep him off TV when he's, in this mood. And, the more he's confronted, the more he started sniffing last night, which is his tell. It's his tell. When he gets like so cornered and so totally outgunned and outthought, and the facts are coming at him one after the other and he just, and we're winning quickly, and we're winning strongly, and we're winning well, and we're winning, and I showed you, I told you. It's like a horror movie. It's like, I can't, it's like Shyamalan meets, Stephen King. It's like, what's the worst thing that could happen to a president? You know what I mean? It could be him. It's crazy. And then, he started insisting he won the election. I won the election. And the question was so simple. The question was, what do you say to suburban women who would like to vote for a Republican but can't vote for you? Okay? What do you say to win them back? And he goes off on there. I won the election in 2020. I won. And look at Wisconsin. And look at this. And look at the 51. I don't even know what he's talking about anymore. I have no earthly idea. Okay. But then Bret Baier says, he starts calling everybody names. He starts calling, he already started, Bill Barr is a coward, and Mike Pence was a lily-livered pansy. He didn't have what it took to do the right thing. Whatever it is, everyone betrayed him. Everyone is bad except for him. Everyone. So Bret Baier pulled out the list, and it's only partial. It's only a partial list. Check this out.
Your Vice President Mike Pence is running against you.
Yeah.
Your Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, she's running against you. Your former Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, said he's not supporting you. You mentioned National Security Advisor John Bolton. He's not supporting you either. You mentioned Attorney General Bill Barr, says you shouldn't be president again, calls you the consummate narcissist and troubled man. You recently called Barr a gutless pig. Your second Defense Secretary is not supporting you, called you irresponsible. This week, you and your White House called your White House Chief of Staff, John Kelly, weak and ineffective and born with a very small brain. You called your acting White House Chief of Staff, Mick Mulvaney, a born loser. You called your first Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, dumb as a rock, and your first Defense Secretary, James Mattis, the world's most overrated general. You called your White House Press Secretary, Kayleigh Canadian milquetoast, and multiple times you've referred to your Transportation Secretary, Elaine Chao, as Mitch McConnell's China-loving wife. So, why did you hire all of them in the first place?
Because I hired 10 to 1 that were fantastic.
What?
We had a great economy. We had phenomenal people in charge of the economy. We had phenomenal people in the military. I'm not a fan of Milley, and I'm not a fan of certain of the television people. But I knocked out ISIS. I defeated ISIS. They said, Mattis, it would take 3 years, and I don't think we can do it. I did it in a period of like 4 weeks.
Delusional. The man is he's literally out there somewhere. It is unbelievable. He defeated, Milley didn't have anything to do with it. No. And Mad Dog Mattis, remember Mad Dog Mattis? No, nothing at all. I mean, it's unbelievable. I can't explain to you how this, needs to be on the TV. Donald Trump under cross-examination, Donald Trump confronted with Donald Trump is exactly the salve, it's the ointment, it's the antibacterial, okay, that America must get. We have to get it. Everybody has to see this. Everybody has to understand this. I will say the polling since the indictment came out is not as good. Some people are peeling off. But I mean, Chris Christie, he said the same thing. He goes, listen, let me tell you something. He calls everybody a name because he's a child. He is a schoolyard child. He's a little bully man. Okay. And if these people, when he hired them, were the best, which is what he promised everybody when he was running. Remember? He was going to have the best people. He knows the best people. Everyone he knows is the best. And remember, he was screaming about he was going to bring Carl Icahn into his, for the economy. I don't know. And then he said, no, not having anything to do with Donald Trump. But, Chris Christie said, well, either he brought in the best people, which he promised you he would do, and he kept his promise, and then he turned out to be like the world's worst manager of people, or he lied.
So Trump on his social media site is attacking former Trump officials that who have criticized him over the indictment. He's saying his former chief of staff, retired Marine General John Kelly, has a very small brain. For some reason, he put brain in quotation marks. He also called Kelly a mummy who sat in his office and stared at the ceiling.
Oh my
Trump
God.
called his former Attorney General Bill Barr a gutless pig, lazy, and totally ineffective. What do you make of the comments?
Well, look, Jake, I stood on the stage in 2016 and heard Donald Trump say he would only hire the very, very best people and he would know how to manage them. But think about what happens here. Here's what he says about Rex Tillerson when he gets in. He says he's the embodiment of the American dream, former CEO of ExxonMobil. He said when he left, what he said about him. He's dumb as a rock and lazy as hell.